It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Tuesday show, October 31st, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Mass. Halloween Tuesday. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live, or the Fox local app. If you're watching on YouTube, good afternoon to you. And Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
It's definitely a good afternoon in Lions as well as the Red Wings won, so I'm in a good mood. Got a chance to get downtown a little bit, much like yourself, Tom and Ryan. I'm happy, man. It was a good turnout for us.
I like the smile. I like the sweatshirt. Tom Mazaway, a.k.a. Mike Eruzione.
There you go.
Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, guys, I couldn't find the gold medal. I figured my kid's got to have a gold medal laying around somewhere. Couldn't find it. And, well, go Team USA, the miracle on ice. Happy Halloween to everybody. Watch those kiddies in the street today. You guys drive slow. You got it? Go Lions.
But you couldn't find the gold medal. I couldn't find my car last night.
Oh, you poor guy.
It's a good movie, by the way.
Just a quick story.
Dude.
I go downtown. I made one of the biggest errors. I like to consider myself a veteran here, too. This was the biggest rookie mistake I've ever had in my life. Drive downtown, park at a parking structure. I parked at the Detroit Opera House parking structure. And when we got out of the game, I went in the Z garage, and I don't do elevators.
Right.
So I walked.
You don't?
I don't. I walked up 5 floors. I'm hitting my car's not here. I'm like, damn, I thought I was in the Z garage. Nope, not in the Z garage, right down the street on Broadway. So I go to that one, and I get into my car, find my car.
Yeah.
Guys, when I say we didn't move for 1 hour, we did not move for 1 hour.
That would ruin my night.
It almost did.
Yeah.
It didn't, but it almost did. I got home at 1 a.m., woke up at 4:30. It was just like, are you kidding me?
That's tough. It is absolutely tough. I definitely have lost my car before, but you know me. I leave everywhere early. I can't stay anywhere late, whether it's a concert, whether it's a game, it doesn't matter.
Super Bowl.
Michigan, Ohio State, the infamous snow game that Ryan had so much fun at.
Second quarter. We'll see you.
No. I stayed a little longer, but I left at the beginning of the fourth. I just like to get out of places. But last night I did get a chance to go downtown and hang out. Went to my friend, shout out to John Kleiman, who puts on a Hellgate in Ann Arbor. He took over Old Shillelagh's parking lot, and we kicked it out there. It was a good time. Good to see the people out there. And Maz, I gotta say, it is something about that silver and black, man. That color, like every time you see the fans walking in silver and the black, it's like, oh, that shirt is nice. Oh, that's a nice jersey. Oh, that's nice.
I saw Jack Tatum jerseys, Ken Stabler jerseys.
24 is the number. You called it 24, Charles Woodson. Like when I saw Charles Woodson jersey, I was like, that's a hell of a jersey. But a lot of fun last night. The Union striking downtown, it had downtown in kind of a weird space. It was not as busy as I thought it was going to be. A lot of striking going on. But I tell you what, the places that had the people, like Eastern Market, like Old Shillelagh, and like obviously over there Fort Field by the Elmwood Diner, place was rocking.
Maybe the entirety of downtown, but near Ford Field, everything was packed. And
it was great.
Just the atmosphere last night. This is what happens when you have a good football team. And ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you that the Lions are a good football team and gear up for a second half here that is, we hope, going to be one for the ages, right? I mean, everybody was in a good mood. People were out, they were downtown, they were spending money, they were high-fiving, there were no problems. It was a great night in the city of Detroit, a Monday night. And I think when you go into that stadium and you hear the roar of the crowd and just Lions. And by the way, these uniforms, this was sweet.
In person? Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like it. This blue helmet was freaking sweet. I don't know how it resonated on TV.
Looked great.
But in person, it was awesome. I couldn't believe I liked it because when I said, oh, those blues on the grays, I thought it would look better on the whites. But man,
It does.
Man, did that look sharp though last night. Did you like the uniforms?
No, I loved it. It came through the TV well. That color. And we talked about that blue. I remember when we first were doing the shows downtown, the pregame show, and you guys were stopping at that store. They had that color. They just didn't have, obviously, the finished product.
Right.
So we always liked the color. And it was the decal that kind of made it look different. But on TV, watching it at Twin Peaks at the bar, it looked good. The uniforms looked nice. It looked good. The crowd looked good. The opening with the lights and the black. Definitely look good on TV.
And Mass, I didn't hear the television broadcast. Joe Buck. Or
I went
Trey
home and
Aikman or
watched
anything.
it.
I know, that's why I'm asking you for this. And
Yeah.
Braylon, you were,
Yeah.
you probably couldn't hear what Buck and.
When I came
Aikman
here, I
were
did.
saying. Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot. I got the chance to do it live as well. I came
right.
to Woodward Sports.
That's great, but like, it felt like Detroit showed out last night. The crowd was loud. The city looked beautiful. The stadium looked beautiful. It was Lomas Brown night down
Yep.
there. Did Joe and Troy, did they have a good time?
They did. They loved it. And all they kept showing and was talking about was the last Lion playoff win against Troy Aikman's
Right.
Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
And Troy's like, look, I can't wait for this team just to win another playoff game so they don't have to talk about that game anymore. But they were loving. They said the crowd was so loud. You couldn't hear Lisa Salters on the sideline
no,
when
you
Joe
couldn't
was
at all.
throwing to her. It was so loud. You guys, we all showed out last night. Great stuff. I got to hold up the third down sign. One of my section had the third down sign thing. We had the light bracelets on. The place looked phenomenal. And hats off. Lions, you did it. You didn't play your best game, but you did it.
And they did get the win, but like you said, it was the atmosphere, it was the environment. When networks like you, when commentators like you, it looks a little different. Like the POVs, the point of views that they did in terms of downtown Detroit, they weren't unflattering like they usually are, and
Correct.
showing areas where you're like, come on, that's not even where the stadium is.
Right.
They were focused on downtown Detroit, right in the areas that which we're talking about. And then Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who you both know I'm not too keen on, I don't necessarily like, they did a hellified job, and it's very different than doing these games 2-3 years ago. Like, they really showed energy for the team, Dan Campbell, the fans. They were great on TV. It was great to see for the Lions.
Right, being at the stadium, did you notice like the extra cameraman, the guy on the truck?
It was right in front of me.
Right in front. He was all over the place.
Right in front of me.
And the one that hangs on the
Zip line.
it looks so damn low to me.
I couldn't believe that camera
Yeah,
that goes almost
it's amazing.
in the huddle.
Yeah.
Can I say something about the atmosphere of the crowd?
You know the thing for that. That's the XFL.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
XFL came
XFL
up with
camera,
a lot of the innovations that the NFL employs now, the XFL came up with first.
Yep.
But just an observation about the crowd. I thought one of the biggest moments in the game was the coin toss, believe it or not. And hear me out on this.
Okay.
So this building is ready to explode. You want that. You're a Monday Night Football. You get into your seat. You hear that national anthem. Joe and Troy are up there in the booth. And then you lose the coin toss. And so you go on offense.
Yeah.
And then on offense, the big blue screens, quiet while offense is at work.
Right.
So when everybody's amped up coming into the stadium, the Lions get the ball first. They go on a 14-play drive for 7 minutes and 9 seconds and are quiet the entire first half of the first quarter. I thought that was like an incredible kind of
I didn't even think of that.
An incredible thing to kind of see early, because then they kick the field goal, so you're not like that amped up after a field goal.
You can't hear the song. There's no song after a field goal. No fight song.
And then you get the ball, and finally, at like the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, you finally get to ramp up. So really, it's a 30-minute wait for you to have to be quiet.
Good point.
Before that building could ramp up. And I thought it was loud, but I did not think it was as loud as I've ever heard before.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
I trust sound.
It was.
I'll trust you on that.
It was.
But it was, and I thought that might have.
It was
something
louder
to do
than
with
Seattle. It was louder than the
Wow.
Seattle game.
Wow.
It was.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it was great to watch. It was very exciting, and You can see the energy through the TV, man. And like you said, it was tight in some spots in the second quarter too. So that's probably why there's more delayed reaction as it relates to the celebrations. But I tell you like this, the celebration after the game probably made up for it.
No doubt. Here's Dan Campbell talking about the celebration. Here's the celebration in the locker room after the game. Lions 6-2 to the bye.
That's the way to bounce back. That's the way to bounce back. That's what I expected. That's what we all expected. All right, you guys came to work, and we got 6. We got 6 at the bye, gentlemen. We got 6 at the bye. We're sitting right at the top, right where we need to be. And now we get a little time to heal up, rest. Now, I do have one game ball. Defense, 157 total yards. 6 sacks, 9 quarterback hits, 7 TFLs, and 1 interception. Oh, yeah! That game ball. This game ball is out of the Aaron Glenn.
I appreciate it. What's Cam and Jerry? Come here. I appreciate it, Coach. Game on to go to these 2 cats.
That's the way to step back up, go to work, and man, the sky's the limit. All right? We will see you tomorrow. We'll clean this tape up. Life's good, brother.
Man, hey, that feel good to come back like that. I know that feel good, man. I'm just excited to be back with y'all, boy, man. Let's keep stacking these, let's just keep pushing, man.
Listen up, man.
Hey, man, Lions, family's on 3, family on me. 1, 2, 3.
That is so great. That's courtesy of Detroit Lions X page. I'll say this. One of the things you notice about this is Dan Campbell giving away the game ball. Who's he give it to? He gives it to one of his guys, Aaron Glenn. Because that was a special moment. Who does Aaron Glenn give it to?
One of his guys. Yeah, 2 of his guys.
I mean, that's the culture. You want to see what the culture is?
Yeah.
That's it right there. It is not me, it is we, and it happens. And I know it's cliche, Bray, but that is how this Lions team has gotten good so quickly.
100%. I say it all the time. Lloyd Carr taught me the value of when the team wins, everybody wins. And that's what you see in Allen Park. That's what you saw last night at Ford Field. That's what you saw in that locker room. The team won the game. Dan Campbell's getting the ovation from the team. Then he gives the ball to Aaron Glenn, the guy that he kept. When people said it was going bad for him, he kept.
Exactly right.
We can get more into that, but he gives it to him, like you said. He passes it on to the team. And even Jerry Jacobs, he's trying to pass it to Cam Sutton. And Cam Sutton said, you keep it.
That's a great
So then
point.
they put their hands up in the air together, man. Like, they're winning together. They don't care about. And like he said, life is good because we can get into the particulars. They're 6-2 at the break. Just think about that.
Guys, we'll talk about this game. You'll hear from Dan Campbell. We'll talk about the trade deadline. Montez Sweat and Chase Young on the move today. Where did they go? Lots to get to on a Victory Tuesday. But first, the message from Dispo.
Your local plug now open till midnight. Dispo Romeo, Michigan's largest cannabis mall. 21 and up. You have to be recreational only, but they have the best ways to consume your cannabis, whether it's flower, whether it's oil, whether it's edibles. It doesn't matter. They even have back cream that has THC in it. Feels good because I got tight back right now. But Dispo Romeo, your local plug. Come check us out.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Hey, gang, for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. Order online if you can't make it in person. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Pack cut to perfection.
I thought our defense played outstanding. Outstanding, man. You play defense like that, you can beat anybody.
No doubt about it. That was a quick one, but it was worth it. Dan Campbell talking about that defense. These guys were all over the place last night. 1 of 9, the Raiders went on 3rd down. They didn't have a completion to a wide receiver until the second half of the game. Think about that when it comes to an NFL football game. 0 of 3 on 4th down.
Yeah.
1 of 9 on 3rd downs. Alex Anzalone, 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 3 tackles for loss. Matt Broder put these defensive statistics up. Tracy Walker, Ali McNeil with 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Kirby Joseph with an interception after the Lions gave the ball away. Julian Okwara came up big yesterday. Braylon, this team defensively got back to what it does best.
Definitely got back to where they did best. Last week wasn't the best week for the Detroit Lions going against the Baltimore Ravens. So when you have a Monday night game, 8 days to think about it and figure it out, you want to come out with a good game plan and you want to get going like you did against the Falcons, against the Panthers, against the Green Bay Packers. And that's what they did. The Carolina Panthers. That's what they did. They got back on track. They rushed the quarterback. They kept Jimmy G off kilter all game. And I understand, Raiders aren't that good of a team, didn't necessarily have the best offensive line. This is the NFL. Your job is to dominate the people that come before you, and it's to put yourself in optimal position to get where you want to be in January, if that's where you're lucky enough to make it like the Lions will. So it was good to see. It was good to see other guys get involved. Ali McNeil is a guy in the middle we haven't seen, so it was good to see him get 2 sacks. And Anzalone, once again, we talk about the tone setter, man. That sure guy. Anzalone set the tone in that 4th quarter.
Amen, man. He's a leader. And the last guy introduced on the field when the defense was introduced. He's the guy, man. He's a defensive captain. He is the guy that the signals go through, and he shows out, man. They play for him. This is a guy that came here, and we're all like, he's not that good. He's not that good. Then they re-sign him. We're like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, especially
they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Here's another guy they believed in, and now he shows out because they believe in him. They believed in Jared Goff, so he showed out, most of this year. But I want to tell you about the defense. Jimmy Garoppolo did not look comfortable for a second. Not a second. He was constantly dancing around, looking to get hit. There's no wonder that they couldn't complete a pass to a wide receiver. And they did talk about that on the game last night. They were in shock that this happened. But I'm going to tell you this about the Raiders. They're very poorly coached. They are so poorly coached. You're going on like 4th and 12 with, 9 minutes to go. You have all your timeouts left. You're only down, less than 2 scores. Yeah, I don't get what Josh McDaniels was trying to do. They were like never in that game. If the Lions didn't kick 4 field goals, it's a blowout. If the Lions didn't throw a pick 6, it's a blowout. The Raiders are terrible. Josh McDaniels is a terrible coach.
I'm sorry about that. Just wanted to say hello to Bill Sheridan, one of my former coaches at the University of Michigan, in the chat. What's going on, Coach Sheridan?
Hey, Coach.
Michigan State, Michigan, as well as Notre Dame. But getting back to the facts, man, they're a poorly run organization. You got Mark Davis, and everybody told me about how good his acumen was compared to Al Davis, his father. I disagree. He hires John Gruden. You see how that goes. He fires Rich Bisaccia. He brings in Josh McDaniels. It just is a dumpster fire with the Raiders, and that's something Mark Davis is going to have to handle. But back to the Lions. Defense is going to help these guys down the stretch, man. You're starting to get to, it's the bye week. It's going to get cold outside. It's going to get nuts and bolts of things. It's going to get physical. When you got defenses that can operate like they do in the spaces with Anzalone flying around, you got the secondary, and you're still missing pieces. Pieces will be coming back. So I like what I saw of them yesterday. It was a good win. We could talk about the field goals, and yes, the red zone offense. There were some things that definitely have to get cleaned up, but that's the type of win you wanted. We talked about it in the 4th quarter. with some fluky stuff at the end. But for the most part, fourth quarter, the game was over.
Guys, the Lions dominated that game yesterday.
They did.
And it is a wonder why it was so close at the end. I mean, it's not a wonder. You know what happens.
We gave it away.
When you turn the ball over, that's what happens. The first 3 possessions of the game, 3 field goals. When you kick field goals and the other team is able to score touchdowns, you went 3-0, 6-0, 9-0, and just like that, it's 9-7.
Correct.
You can't do that against good teams. The Lions had 3 turnovers, including a pick 6, including a fumble at the 2-yard line. They had a touchdown taken away and a missed field goal. You can't do that against good teams. Yeah. But I think that was a little bit of both last night, a combination of the Raiders are really bad and the Lions are good enough to not only overcome that, but to overcome it and win by double digits.
Yeah.
You know, that was Lions won 3 straight home games now by 12 or more points for the first time since, I believe, 97.
I think I heard they scored the most points at home in the last 2 years than any team in the NFL.
But that game was Braylon. That game shouldn't have been as close as it was.
No, it definitely should have been as close.
Doubled them up in time and possession.
This is true. And it definitely should have been that way. But let me say 2 things. Thing one is, even though they're getting the field goals and the lack of, red zone offense, and they'll figure that out. They'll get that out. Like I keep saying, they'll get players back. They'll start to trust in Jameson Williams more. You see Jahmyr Gibbs getting out there, so that will change. But at the same time, I didn't mind it, Ryan, because it's showing me, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just take the 3. I'll take the 3. I'm starting to see decisions that I understand and that I like for the potential playoff situations. They didn't go for it. They didn't think the Raiders were better than them. They didn't think the Raiders could play with them. But he took the field goal anyway. He said, let's just take the 3. Let's just take the 3. Let's just take the 3. What if you go for it and don't get it 2 times, and all of a sudden that touchdown, as opposed to 7-9, it's 7-3 in favor of the Raiders. So I did like that. We do have to clear up the red zone offense, but the interception, Jared Goff, watched it back a bunch of times.
What was he doing there? That was like right in front of me. Was he trying to?
No, he was really trying to complete that pass to St. Brown. St. Brown overran it and then said, oh, he ain't going to throw it to me. He kind of almost cut off his route, and then it looked like he was going to throw it out of bounds, but he didn't. He was trying to complete that pass.
So what happened was, and listen, you know how I am about Jared Goff when he throws interceptions. I don't come up here and make excuses for him. I tell him he's a guy that can't do that. This is the rare time that I'm actually going to take it for Jared Goff. It's one of those bang-bang type situation plays. Right when Jared Goff was about to throw it, when Amon-Ra St. Brown should have came back for it, right when Amon-Ra St. Brown makes that decision, like, he's not throwing it to me, and he goes a little longer in his route.
Correct.
Jared Goff is in the middle of trying to get there, and then he kind of like, and then Marcus Peters gets a pick 6. It's a bang-bang simultaneous type play.
Good call.
Not trying to make excuses for Jared Goff, but in that particular situation, as I watched it, as I understood it, that's one of those things, it's not his fault, but it is his fault at the same time. Like,
you know what? They came back and scored anyway.
Exactly. Ball don't lie, like Rasheed Wallace says. He was,
actually,
right when he was about to throw it. And And he was like, oh, shoot, it's too late.
Actually, what they did was they came down the field, got it to the 2-yard line. And I'll tell you, I said it in my head. I did not say it out loud. But anytime I see Craig Reynolds come into the game, I say, hold on to the football. I don't know why, but I feel like a third-string running back has a hard time to hold the football and not fumble.
I don't think it was a fumble.
I think it was close.
I saw a video on Twitter, and it showed. I didn't see the ball hit. It looks like he has the ball.
It looked like his body was on top of somebody. So calling the field stands. I think.
Can I say what my issue was with that whole situation? Wasn't even Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds shouldn't have been in the game. Jahmyr Gibbs was firecracker hot. And they took him out for 2 plays in a row. Because notice, they ran it with Craig first. Then they ran it with Craig again. And I don't have a problem. Craig Reynolds was hard. I can appreciate that.
He ran good yesterday.
You fumble every once in a while. Look, I don't want you to fumble. Your job is to protect the ball. But when you run that hard, sometimes I go like, it happens.
Right.
But he was hot. Jahmyr Gibbs was hot. They should have came back with Jahmyr Gibbs after the first run that didn't work with Craig Reynolds, or it should have been a play action to Sam Porter. Like, that's what I would have preferred to see. So Craig shouldn't even have been in that situation.
Guys, we've gone 25 minutes, and we have not mentioned how good Jahmyr Gibbs was until just now. Braylon, you did it. Jahmyr Gibbs was everything that you could have ever wanted this guy to be. He stepped up and stepped in. 26 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Also caught 5 passes out of the backfield for 37 yards. He had 5 targets out of the backfield as well for 189 total yards and a touchdown, and touched the ball 31 times. If that's not a breakout game, I don't know what is.
And the first 8 plays was him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So the funny thing about it is, my acumen was, hey, give Jameis Williams a bunch of touches and let him see if he can figure it out. Well, they listened to me, just about a different guy.
Yep.
Ryan, when you're a first-round draft pick, like in your mind, I'm a first-round draft pick. I'm supposed to come here. I'm going to help change this franchise. Like, I'm the guy. I'm ready. When they spoon feed you here and there, and here's a play or here's a play, and you're going to be used like this and used like this, you can never really get in a rhythm. You're trying to figure out who you are. He's finally, they say, you know what? Let's let the kid run roughshod, because until you get hit a couple times, until you catch some passes out of the backfield, until you see yourself get a 30-yard run or a 20-yard run or get in the end zone, like, you're like, dang, this is the next level. You know, maybe I got to ease into it. What's going on? You start to question yourself. But once you start to get rolling, when they feed you, when they get you when you get in the rhythm, you saw it turned on after those first 8 plays. He was like, oh, man, this ain't nothing. This no different than the NCAA. They mess with me. They rock with me. Let's get going. Oh, by the way, I'm better than the running back on the other side because he went to Alabama too. So it was 1 versus 1. I love that. He got in rhythm. He started trusting himself again. Started making catches. That was like, hey, that wasn't a bad catch. Started making little moves. The touchdown shimmy, I don't know how the hell he slid through that hole and then got to the outside and then made a miss. He got in rhythm. You got to get young guys in rhythm, and that's what they did yesterday for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Troy Aikman loved him last night. He said, this guy is the real deal. He's something special. Watch out for this kid.
And again, you look at what Gibbs is doing, then you look at what Bijan's doing. I mean,
he's better right now.
It does feel like that right now.
Right now, he's better.
Exactly, for this team. Guys, we're going to continue
He's
to talk
on a better team, though.
Going to continue to talk about that's right, too. Can't not say that either. Going to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. You'll hear what Dan Campbell has to say about him. We'll talk about the Lions at the break, where they stand right now, and again, get you any updates on the trade deadline. But first, a message from Big Boy.
Oh, guess what? I went to Big Boy last night at Ford Field, and I got myself a strawberry shake. Shout out to Ryan behind the counter. She was awesome. And you know what, guys? You got to get to Big Boy. I can go for one right now. It's Halloween time. Let's go get some burgers, right? Now with the bacon cheddar burger. Let's go get that. The bacon pretzel burger as well. And the chicken sandwich, the Dolly chicken sandwich, and Bob's hot chicken sandwich is to die for. And if you want those fries, you want to upgrade them to chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries, and save room for dessert, the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake and the funnel cake fries. All can be yours at Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can be used for 7-on-7 football K through 8 that features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K through 8 athletics, and obviously so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollments, so go to the academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
And we wanted to get Gibbs going, you know. We wanted to be able to establish the run. And you could tell he was feeling it. You know, he was starting to every week he's just gotten a little bit better and a little bit better. And I thought last week was his best game, and this week certainly surpassed that. And I think the more he gains his own confidence in his own abilities in this league, he's just going to continue to grow. And I think this was kind of the tip of the iceberg, if you will, for what he is able to do and going to be able to do. So really proud of him. I was proud of that old line too. I mean, they just battled. So it was good to see. We've never felt like he was just an outside back. Do we think, here's what the allure of some of the outside stuff is, his speed. But, I mean, well, sometimes you can use his speed to go downhill right now. It's a little bit quicker to go here than it is here and then turn back up. So, no, we don't feel like he's some finesse back. That's not his deal, and he runs on his tippy toes. And we think he can do it all, you know. We think he's a pretty good gun runner, but certainly he can run out of the dot. So, we feel like he's pretty versatile that way.
We appreciate that from Detroit Lions YouTube. You know what it is, Brian, too, and Maz, is he's coming from Alabama. Alabama, it's a different style of offense. It takes a second to get acclimated to the NFL offense. Like in Alabama, that joker's not getting touched for 5 yards, you know, or he's running everything outside, or it's all type of, you know, running back pass plays or things like that. Like now, this is the NFL. Like you're running downhill. So he had to learn how to run downhill, how to make guys miss, how to be patient. Like these are things they teach you in the NFL. You got to be patient with your blockers. Set your blockers up for you. That's one thing Emmitt Smith. I didn't like him in a lot of things because I was a Barry guy.
I loved him.
But Emmitt Smith, he was great at Florida. I mean, I'm not. Hey, he's all-time leader. I cannot hate on Emmitt Smith.
Second best.
But anybody from Detroit, we know the deal. We hate Emmitt Smith because of Barry Sanders, but he did a great job of setting up his blockers. Great job of setting up his blockers, and I think that's what you're starting to see from Jahmyr Gibbs. He's getting comfortable in the NFL level. It's a different running the ball in the NFL than it is in NCAA, especially at Alabama.
And just remember that we're missing our real bull. You're missing David Montgomery. Wait till you get him back. Yeah. Then wait to see what Jahmyr Gibbs and him do. That dynamic duo. And you still have Reynolds. You still have Craig Reynolds as a 3-back. Craig Reynolds getting all this action now, it's going to wind up helping the Lions in the future. I really believe that. They're winning now without David Montgomery. They took one bad step without him so far.
Sometimes things happen for a reason, and it's not till after they happen, and a little while after they happen, that you realize why it happened and it was a good thing. David Montgomery getting hurt wasn't a good thing, but it allowed Jahmyr Gibbs, it allowed Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson, get him going faster, get him into the flow of the season faster than they probably wanted to. Now you look at this. Now they don't have to rush David Montgomery back. Now you're not looking like, hey, David, you good to go this week, or what are you thinking? Now you can get Jahmyr Gibbs some more one-on-one time. Now you can get him more confidence. So now when you rest David Montgomery and you bring him back together, oh, boy.
And you got another week off. 2 weeks before you play a game.
I think it would be appropriate as well to just totally acknowledge that offensive line as well. You do not rush the ball for 222 yards without a solid effort from that offensive line, including 3 backups. Frank Ragnow out. Jonah Jackson out. Hal Vaitai did not play. How about Colby Sorsdale? A 5th-round pick from William and Mary, another Brad Holmes draft pick, wearing Lomas Brown's number 75. Here's what the rookie had to say about his first start.
It was a great team and stuff. It was great to be a part of. And I mean, you can't beat Monday Night Football as your first start. You know, it's just something special, something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Just so happy for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He came out, he played well. God bless Graham Glasgow. Mm-hmm. When his team signed him in the offseason to a free agent deal to bring Glasgow back to Detroit, thought of his depth. This guy started at 2 positions along the 5 different positions on the offensive line already.
Yep.
And to move from guard to center, that is a really difficult thing to do, in my opinion, I think. The center position, obviously, you're making all the line calls. And to go do that, man, shout out to Glasgow, shout out to Sorsdale, and Yoda.
Definitely shout out to those linemen that play well in the backups, man. Shout out to Graham Glasgow. University of Michigan. One of the things they do well up there in the offensive line is they play multiple positions up there. You got tackles that can go from tackle to center to guard. So, and you saw that with Graham Glasgow. But that's a testament to the coaching as well, Ryan. Like the coaching, that's intentional coaching. Whenever you can get backups to come in and play like they have been, going back to last year, backup players coming in and play. Actually, going back to 2 years ago, talking to Jonah Jackson, how he played in him. I think he was a Pro Bowl alternate, if you will. But having those guys, that's Hank Fraley. That's Hank Fraley making sure he's giving the same coaching to Frank Ragnow that he is to Glasgow, that he is giving to everybody else. That is Ben Johnson. Like, they know the plays. They feel involved in the team. And that's why when you have to come in and replace a center such as Frank Ragnow, or you have to replace a Taylor Decker, or you have to replace a Penei Sewell, you're ready to play. They're not coming in like guys are just happy to be out there. They're coming in like guys that have a purpose, and they're going to keep this thing going next man up style.
And then Owasika went down as well, and then Dan Skipper had to come in. These guys are so well coached up front there. They just can rotate and play any different position, and when they do come in, they play well and they perform. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about that offensive line.
You know, we were explosive. We were able to run the ball. It's, I think, you know, one of our best rushing attacks we've had all season. Sorsdale and Yodi and Skip all battled in there at guard. I thought Decker and Sewell did an outstanding job against a premier player on the perimeter. You know.
That's a great point, too. Now, Max Crosby got his. Yeah. He did.
He's gonna.
I thought they blocked him about as well as anybody could block him and try to contain him. You're not going to stop Max Crosby, but they were able to contain him enough to be able to run their offense. That was a really difficult thing to do. Really great job by that offensive line. That is the team's calling card, by the way, Bray. That's exactly what Dan Campbell said last week they wanted to do. They want to get back to who they are. Well, who are they? They're a team that blocks. They're a team that runs the football. All those resources in that offensive line, and then you run the football. That's who they are, and the pass complements.
Very true, but can I ask you guys a question? Like, what was up with all the free releases for Max Crosby early on in the game? There were 4 free releases for Max Crosby in players where you didn't have the right tackle even looking at him. There's a play where Taylor Decker completely goes down and chips and nobody kicks out. There's another play on the reverse with J-Mo. There was another play, 2 plays after the J-Mo play in terms of – there was a lot of free releases that I did not understand, but they tightened it up at the end of the third and the fourth quarter, and he was completely taken out of the game in that fourth quarter. But he's a great player. Great players are going to get theirs, but at the end of the day, they shut down Max Crosby and the defensive line for the Raiders.
No doubt about it. So Max Crosby, one of the best edge rushers in the game. We saw 2 go off the board today. Earlier, today is the NFL trade deadline day. If you're watching live, it's 4 p.m., so that's about an hour and 20 minutes from now. And 2 huge names are off the board already. Montez Sweat goes to the Chicago Bears in one of the most curious trades we have seen in a trade deadline.
Total bewilderment.
Montez Sweat goes, and then Jay Glazer, Ian Rappaport, and everybody else just reports. Maz, would you like the honors?
Chase Young not going to the Patriots like we thought earlier. He is a 49er.
Chase Young to the 49ers. So here's the deal. The 49ers just got better with Chase Young. The Eagles got better last week with the safety from Tennessee, Kevin Byard. And then
Seattle, Frank Clark.
Seattle got Frank Clark and
Leonard Williams
of the New York Giants. So you sit here, and Detroit, if you look at the hierarchy of teams in the NFC, the 3 teams you're competing against the most, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Seattle, all made trades. Brad Holmes, you're up.
Chicago, too. You're playing them twice. I'm just saying, they got better.
Listen, we still have, an hour and 20 minutes to see what's going to happen by the trade deadline, and I hope a move is made. I said what I said yesterday before the show. I said if Brad Holmes needs to make a significant move, and then you see today what happens in your same conference. Teams in which you're fighting for that second spot for, fighting for that number 1 seed in the NFC, trying to see what's going to happen. Those teams made moves. And you're talking teams that are playoff teams last year, teams that have been in the conference championship 2 years ago. These teams made moves because they know that it's only going to get harder as the season goes on, and you're going to need players. It's going to be interesting. If they don't make a move, Ryan, if they don't make a move, what are you thinking if they don't make a move?
I would be disappointed, but I would not be deflated.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, of course.
I would be disappointed, but not deflated. And I'll tell you why. I think this team is good. I think this team is on the rise. I think this team can make it to a Super Bowl. I don't think any of those other teams are unbeatable.
Right.
I think this team is a different team at home than they are on the road. Although they have just the same record at home than they do on the road. But, yeah, I mean, you look around, and this feels like a go-for-it year. You know, it does feel like a go-for-it year.
Every year should be.
Not every – last year was not a go-for-it year.
Until you win a Super Bowl, it's a go-for-it year.
Well, you're trying to stay in the fight for a lot longer than just 1 year. But
you don't want to be broke.
Tell that to the Rams.
True, but you don't want to be.
They got their Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, they got it. They got their Super Bowl.
Look, every year is not a go-for-it year. Let's start there. Let's finish with this, though, Maz. This is a go-for-it year. This is a go-for-it year. You're right where you want to be. You've been building this thing up now for the better part of 2.5 years. You've had great drafts. You had a really good offseason last year. Your team is primed. Your team is on bye week right now. The teams that are competing with you, they went and got better too. They went and got better. So if Brad Holmes is going to sit here and tell me, hey, look, I trust what we got this year. Just trust in the Brad Holmes plan. See how we play out the rest of the year, get to the playoffs, see what we do in the playoffs, and then see how the offseason works out. Hey, you know what? I'm going to trust them because I have to trust them at this point. They're 6-2 at the bye week, doing good. So you know what? I'm going to rock with the Brad Holmes plan. I'm not going to go off the deep end if they don't make a move today. I agree with you, Ryan and Monty, but I will tell you this. I'll save it.
I was going
to say, I'll tell you this. It better pay off.
I was going to say, you said you trusted Brad Holmes.
Yes, sir.
So does Dan Campbell. Here's Dan Campbell on Brad Holmes at the trade deadline.
Here's what I know 100% is whether we do something or don't do something, I trust Brad 100% that it's for the betterment of this team. It's the right thing to do. So let's see where that goes.
Here's a really hard thing for fans, and I do believe this is hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for you. It's hard for you, Maz.
Very.
We are not in these rooms, and I'm not saying the Lions aren't going to do anything today. Right. There's an hour and 15 minutes left or so. We see all these shiny new toys getting passed out to your competition around the league, and you look around and say, where's our new shiny toy?
Yeah.
Where is ours? And it's so disappointing if you don't get a toy on Christmas, but all the other kids in town do. And you start asking yourself, was I on the naughty list?
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it feels like.
The new toys we got were the free agents. 4 of them. 3 of them are injured. 2 are out for the year. So I need another toy.
Today's Christmas morning, all your friends are getting toys, and you're not getting one, and it feels deflating, but you do move on.
This is true, but there's one caveat to that. It'd be one thing if everybody was getting new toys, and we didn't lose to the Seattle Seahawks, and we didn't get blown out by the Baltimore Ravens, and we didn't beat the Kansas City Chiefs without their 2 best players by 1 point. So it's not me wanting shiny toys because the other teams got shiny toys. It's me wanting shiny toys because I know that they will help us in those situations. Let's not act like the 3 teams we played that are going to be in the playoffs, we are 1-2 against. So it's not me wanting.
But easily could be 2-1.
But we are 1-2 against them, which means we need more players. That's all I'm saying. If we're 1-2 against them, that's why I want to make a move. Because the teams that look, whenever they had a falter, like look at the 49ers. 49ers has the best roster money can buy, right? Saw that defense wasn't what they thought it was. They went and got another defensive player. So you have to continuously assess your roster. And that's the only reason why I wanted a couple players is because what I saw out of the playoff teams that we've played. That's all.
Guys,
I got you.
We're going to continue this conversation as well. And an alternative to the Lions if they don't make a trade today. I'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey gang, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Hey,
go ahead.
The Jags got a guard from the Vikings, by the way. So the Jags are Ezra Campbell. So they're upping their game as well.
Aren't they 6-2 as well?
Yeah, they're upping their game as well. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be bad to have another offensive lineman, another defensive back. You know, at least those two things. At least. Maybe a wide receiver for the Giants. Giants are fire sale.
Yeah.
Where's Saquon going?
And like you said, it's definitely moves to be made out here. There's a lot of teams that aren't making the postseason. There's a lot of coaches that are getting fired. A lot of GMs that won't be around. So, hey, trust me. Like Dan just said, he trusts Brad Holmes, and so do I. Brad Holmes is on the phone, and if there is a deal to be made, this is what I will say, Ryan. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that we don't know. I'm not, like you said, I'm not in those rooms. I don't know the money. I don't know how some deals will get done, or if it's too much, or if it's this, or if it's too much on the team. So, if there's a deal to be done, I have the confidence that Brad Holmes will make it, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I don't think he's just babying this football team and not going for it if he believes there's something out there that can help this team. I really don't. I really don't think.
No, of course. Of course he is.
Let me tell you, okay?
Yeah.
Brad Holmes, let me talk to you. L.A. Nice. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I love when you do your L.A. night.
But let me talk to you for a minute here. Brad Holmes is not sitting in that room today. Right now, he is not sitting there saying, you know what? We're okay. I'm not going to do anything today.
I know you're right.
He's sitting there trying to figure out how he can make this team better. And if he can, he will. If he can't, he won't.
Yeah.
But what do we say at the trade deadline? You got to let the board come to you. And today, I have a feeling that Brad Holmes is sitting in his office saying, you know what? I got to let this trade market come to me. I'm not going to overpay, overspend, go nuts. They've got a lot of cap flexibility over the next couple of years. The Lions can really be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. Don't blow it here. And I think that's what Brad Holmes is saying to himself today. If you can let the trade market come to you, just like in the NFL draft, I'm going to let the board come to me. I'm letting the trade market come to me too, Bray.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he was out there with the Rams for years. He helped kind of set that thing in motion with Les Snead, and he saw some of what Les Snead did and some of the things that Les Snead did in terms of getting rid of picks and, F them picks and all that kind of stuff. And he didn't like that thing. So he's trying to find the best way to navigate the Detroit Lions, who are his franchise, and put them in the best situation to continue to have success. So I'm excited for it. I've seen the change from 2021 till now. I've seen the change from the start of the season till now. But at the same time, it's just one of the things, Ryan. It's like you're excited. Now your team is 6-2. Now your team is number 2 in the conference. Now your team is on a bye week. You're like, let's make a move. Let's do something. So you do have the jitters that you want them to make a move so this team gets even better. If they don't make a move, I still like the integrity of this team, and I want to see what they do moving forward. Praying no more injuries.
I just believe that they're a little too careful, and what I mean by that is they're afraid to upset the apple cart. They're afraid to bring a guy in that won't get along with some of the other guys.
How do
you know that?
Because that's what they've said in the past. Dan Campbell said it last week. He's like, we don't want to upset this thing we got going. We're not going to bring somebody in here that's basically not going to fit here. They've always been afraid to bring in a bad boy. Let's face it. Doesn't matter what regime has been here. No one brings in the bad boy. This is the time where you have an opportunity. You're just as good as anybody to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And you got a great team. And you got a bunch of guys coming back from injuries, God willing. But you know what? If they don't, and you get another couple of injuries, what if Cam Sutton goes down tomorrow?
That's a valid point.
What?
That's a valid point.
You've got to put a couple more guys on this team. You must. You must do it.
It's funny when you said bad boy, the first person I thought about was Jonathan Allen. After his comments last week about being there and how long it's been going on, he's a damn good player. But, that's the other thing, Ryan. The thing that's bitten us the most in the last 3 years, to be honest, is injuries. They had a ton of injuries 2021. They were good last year at the end of the season. They were lucky. This year, it's been nothing but injuries. So even in just that regard, you want to put some guys on the team. Not guys that are practice squad players, but guys that can actually play, because we still have 9 weeks of the season, and we're not stopping in December. We're going to the playoffs. So, there's still 12 weeks left in the season. That's a long time.
Can you imagine a guy coming over from a losing team to this team? That's like being born again.
When I got traded from the Browns to the Jets,
you're born again.
The Browns, we were 0-4. I get traded, and I instantly go from 0-4 and ready to book my ticket to Cancun. So I'm 3-1.
Yep.
I'm 3-1 with the Jets.
With a great coach.
It's different energy in the building. Like Rex Ryan was amazing. The defense, so it upped my spirits and made me do all I can. But yeah, you're 100%. You get a guy that comes in, a guy's coming from a losing situation, get that energy of a winning situation. Man, you will be surprised what you can do to guys' energy.
Pick the Raiders apart.
Yeah.
You think those guys want to play for this guy?
Yeah, he's not letting Matt.
They don't want to play for him.
Adam Schefter just tweeted. It's been up now, but Washington delivers Chase Young to San Francisco for a 3rd-round pick. Montez Sweat goes to Chicago for a 2nd-round pick.
Now Chase don't stay on the field a lot. That's why he went for less.
Right.
Also,
that's a big problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And that's why I never mentioned Chase Young, is because of the injuries. Chase Young legitimately missed about 2.5 years of football. Like, he's only been in the league 5 years, so I understand why not going after Chase Young. That does make sense.
You only need him for a play here and there.
I mean, maybe, but that's where a lot of this too. One of the reasons why I'm trying to rationalize here. One of the reasons, if you don't make a play for a player elsewhere, is perhaps maybe you get James Houston back in a couple of weeks. Maybe you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back with a month to go in the season.
Saw his post.
Huh?
You saw his post?
Yeah, I did see his post. It feels like he's, I don't want to say getting closer.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but it feels like he's going to play football for the Detroit Lions this year. So, I mean, those are additions that you are getting back.
This is true.
So, I'm just trying to
I
rationalize.
know. And look, I don't want to give up a 2, 3, or a 4. The way this guy drafts, I don't really want to give those picks up. I get it. But I think you can get some other players for a 5th, a 6th. Look at the Vikings. They got Josh Dobbs for a 7th. Josh Dobbs, he's been everywhere. But the guy, they need a guy to play quarterback. I'm just saying there are guys out there that you at least can plug in and help you out with depth, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I just look at it like this. You look at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks, they came in here, and yes, we spotted them however many points and took them overtime. We didn't win. They beat us back then. Then they have made significant strides to get better. The NFC leaders, the Eagles, they're number 1 in the division, in the conference, and they're making moves to try to make sure, and that's how he does it. Howie Roseman, is that his name?
Yep.
Howie Roseman, he makes sure the decks is as stacked as can be so that he's there at the end. I just want the Detroit Lions to put themselves in situations so that when we get there in January, you're not surprised that the Seattle Seahawks are that much better than they were last time you played them. Yep. That's all.
I just clearly, and
We're jealous.
Listen, wait, listen to me for. I just think this is really important for all Lions fans out there. Brad Holmes is not trying to screw you, okay? Brad Holmes is not sitting there in his office at Allen Park saying, "How can I screw this up?"
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath, a little bit here. Give this guy the benefit of the doubt. He knows what he's doing. He's not sitting there saying, Chase Young, not worried about him in January, or Montez Sweat, or any of these other players. Don't need this guy, don't need that guy, we're good. He's not saying that. But he's not
for that price.
Right.
No.
Everything costs something. It's risk, reward. And I'm not even saying they're not going to do anything. There's an hour left. He could get Mike Evans and Patrick Surtain in the next hour.
Hey.
And then what happens? You know,
He's the greatest. He's the greatest. You're number 1.
So what I'm trying to just say is, I know it's unpopular radio or digital TV or whatever we call this. Digital streaming.
YouTube.
It would be much more eyeballs would come on perhaps if we were yelling and screaming and saying how bad Brad Holmes is and he doesn't know what he's doing. I guarantee you Brad Holmes knows exactly what he's doing right now.
He does.
I can tell you.
I wish the NFL would push this next year or the year after. Push it for another couple of weeks.
Oh, trade deadline?
Yeah, push it for another couple of weeks. I know they did move it a little bit because of the 17
games. Yeah.
But they move it a couple more weeks because there's going to be teams that still need players in a few weeks.
Guys, there's 2 names I want to bring up for you in the next segment that were both on the field last night, both Lions players. I want to talk about them individually, what you think of them. But first, a message from Swiss.
Up for you. Do you have football on the brain? Because we do. As fall ushers in professional and college sports. So why not do it? Well, why not get your insurance from anyone else but Swiss Insurance? So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. That number again, 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance, you know, they got you covered.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Got chilly outside like I told you it would. Now, will you listen to me and come on down to 5 Iron Golf and Cambria Hotel downtown Detroit? Sim rentals, lessons, leagues, bar, and restaurant. The food is good, by the way. Brand new TrackMan simulators. You can play any course around the world. Augusta, Torrey Pines, it doesn't matter. You can play it all. Come on down and have a good time. And on Thursdays, we have the Woodward Sports Golf League, 5 to 7. Come on down and have a good time and then let that parlay into your Thursday night football. 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit.
Guys, if you're just joining us, Chase Young to the 49ers, Montez Sweat to the Bears. Those are the, some of the more bigger deals today. The Vikings sent one of their top guards.
Ezra Campbell to the Jags.
Cleveland, right?
Ezra Cleveland.
Yeah, to the Jaguars. So he goes. And the Lions have yet to make a move just yet. About an hour to go in the trade deadline. I want to bring up two names for you and just see where you guys at with these guys. First name, we'll start with this guy, and it's Cam Sutton. You brought him up. One of the reasons why
game ball.
Huh?
You got a game ball.
One of the reasons why you might not have heard Devontae Adams' name last night is because Cam Sutton was all over him. Cam Sutton had a great game last night. Not a good game. A great game last night. And if it wasn't for him, the Detroit Lions secondary would be in a whole big world of hurt. He has come to this team on a 3-year deal and played great football.
He's definitely playing good. Leading up into this game, he has been definitely the number one DB for the Detroit Lions. He's held a lot of wide receivers down. Yesterday, let's just thank God Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback and that offensive line was horrible. But Cam Sutton, in terms of what he's done, we asked, Maz, what was the game? Was it after the Seattle Seahawks game? I think we said, hey, look, he's a friend of the show.
Yep.
But I got to call him out. I said, where's my guy Cam Sutton?
Yep.
Where's University of Tennessee? Hold on, Ryan, you got it.
Trade, Danny Rogers. The Lions have traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver
DPJ, bring him home.
Cleveland, former Michigan Wolverine coming home. Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Browns coming home to Detroit.
That sounds like a 6th-round pick to me.
So it looks like I got the
How
right
about that?
I like that.
Looks like I got the right helmet by my desk today.
Does that sound like what did they send it, a 6th-round pick for him?
I don't know. We don't have that information yet, but what did I say was my number one target?
Wide receiver.
Funny enough.
Make what you do greater.
Now, he's not had a great time in Cleveland. Let's say that.
But
who the hell's throwing to him?
I will say that, but he's had 6 quarterbacks in my estimation
what I mean.
since he got drafted, and he actually did start coming to his own. I want to say it was year 2 and year 3, and then it kind of fell off again.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson's been there. It's been Josh Dobbs. It's been the Baker Mayfield. The list goes on. But you got a guy that was a 1 when he first got there, turned into a 2, can make catches, can make the big play, can get the play down the field. And last time I checked, he did run 4.3. So that's not a bad pickup at all.
So last year, Donovan Peoples-Jones caught 61 passes, 839 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This year, not doing much at all. 8 catches, 97 yards. So we'll see if they can catch lightning in a bottle with Donovan Peoples-Jones. I want to say this, too, and the second name that I was going to mention was Jameson Williams.
There you go.
And is this a direct reflection of JMO's progress? Is this a direct reflection of, hey, Marvin Jones is out, now they need to add him?
Of course.
Last night, there weren't boo birds. I was proud of the Lions crowd for not doing the boo thing last night. But Jameson Williams has to catch that football.
Wasn't a great throw.
But he's the 12th overall. He's got to catch the football. It's not a great throw, but he's got to catch that football. However, he came back, and his blocking is tremendous. Jameson Williams blocked like crazy last night, and in a critical moment, Jameson Williams went over the middle of the field and caught a very crucial pass.
20-plus yards on that.
To get a first down and ultimately seal that game.
Yes. Yeah.
So for all of the strife that you're going to have with J-Mo, because you want him to be X, Y, and Z, maybe he's not that guy, but he's not totally useless either. So you're just going to have to juxtapose the drops with some of the good moments too, because Jahmyr Gibbs, God bless him, he had a big night last night, and one of the reasons why is because he's got wide receivers blocking for him down the field. I thought J-Mo, outside of the drop, had a really decent game.
Listen, he's got to catch the ball. I'm a wide receiver. As much as I want to sit up here and take up for him, look, it wasn't a great throw, but he's got to make that catch. I understand with you. I agree with you, fans. With that being said, they still haven't found ways to get him right. I mean, even on the underneath, I like that pass, the third down catch. It was a good pass over the middle. Got the first down. I like that one. But they still haven't found ways to implement him, I believe, in the way in which he should. Why are we running the reverse as you letting Max Crosby go free?
Because he couldn't catch it.
We were I understand that, but why do that? You gonna get him concussion? You gonna knock him out? The only way is a $190.
He knocked his helmet off.
Exactly. So why are you gonna do that play? And then the other play, like he's fading this way. You see the Amon-Ra play that he runs all the freaking time when he catches the little underneath route and he runs up the sideline. Amon-Ra St. Brown runs 4.6 and gets 30 yards on that play. What if you ran that play once?
It was a touchdown.
They don't trust him.
It would
Both
be a touchdown.
That's why. I'm just saying. You're asking. I'm just saying they don't trust him.
I understand it, but
that's why.
But what did we say before the game? You got to throw him 7 passes, and then you figure out, you know what? If he's not it, and you move off of him at the end of the season. You're going to have to figure it out now. Like now while you're playing the Raiders who weren't that good, now after the Chargers, you play a couple more teams that aren't that good. You better figure it out. Because what are you going to do? Keep him on the staff and not throw him the ball and then sit down and then he has no confidence?
It's such a tough thing because the Lions are not like this one-man wrecking crew.
It's not about a one-man wrecking crew, but it's finding his place. We know where Sam Laporta's place is. It's on first down. It's on the play action on first down. It's in the red zone. We know what Amon-Ra St. Brown's underneaths are. We know that for a fact, and Sam Laporta's a rookie too. We now know what Jahmyr Gibbs is. We know what David Montgomery is. Find his lane is all I'm asking.
Here's what we agree on.
Wait, a 2025 6th-round pick. That's what they traded.
Oh, really? 2025?
2025 6th-round pick.
Okay, fair enough. They're not giving away any picks for next year.
They gave nothing
They're not
away.
giving away any.
And
picks.
by the way,
what you said.
Brad Holmes told
the draft.
Brad Holmes told Jennifer Hammond they're probably done.
And
there you go.
And there you go. So they get the cornerback, and that's it.
Wide receiver.
I'm at a loss. Wide receiver. I'm at a loss with J-Mo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know what to do with him.
It's tough.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I watched that game last night, and I'm sitting there, and when you need to extend a drive, you know where you're going? Sam Laporta. You know where you're going? Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Josh Reynolds.
You're going to Josh. who had a fumble last night.
I know.
And maybe that's another reason.
It was a great catch.
Excellent catch.
And he tried to make it. It was a difficult move. I'm not even going to blame Josh
No,
Reynolds
I'm
for
not
that.
blaming
He's been really good for this team. But
he was a ghost.
I know what you're about to say, and I got something for you.
I just don't know where you fit. You want to get him these balls and work him in, but you got to keep drives going. My head just hurts when I think of Jameson Williams and trying to give him the ball.
And I'm about to give you the Tylenol right now. Look, you don't have to trust them. Not every number one wide receiver is the third down option on their team. All the records at Michigan, I was not the third down option at University of Michigan. It was Jason Avant. Jason Avant wasn't dropping SHIT. It doesn't matter. Like, you know who you are. Third down in Michigan, it's Jason Avant. Third down here, you know Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get the play. You know Sam Laporta's going to have it back. Haven't seen him drop anything. So what does that leave you? First down play action leaves you a second down. It leaves you a second and short that you turn into a home run play. There are downs in which you can try these plays with him is what I'm saying. You don't have to throw the ball to him on third down or say, we can't call this play on third down because it's for J-Mo. Like, then run into Amon-Ra St. Laporta.
But here is part of this whole scheme, too, that I struggle in, trying to take a shot with J-Mo deep on first down. This team leads the NFL in yards on first down.
Do we still?
Yes, they still
lead
the NFL in yards on first down.
It seems like 4 or 5 each time. It
is. And when you get 4 or 5 every time on first down, you have your entire playbook open and available to you on second down and third down and maybe even fourth down. So it almost feels like sometimes when you try to force the ball to J-Mo, and I think that reverse was trying to get him involved and get his confidence back without catching a ball, handing it to him.
This is the NFL. Reverses don't work, just like kick returns and punt returns.
It works for Khalif Raymond sometimes. This just went up against a guy in Max Crosby that totally blew up the play.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see St. Brown he was supposed to throw that ball?
Yeah,
wide open was Khalif Raymond.
Open,
He didn't want to throw it.
Right.
I'm not mad at it.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like there's this balance that you're trying to get this one player involved, because if this guy gets a little bit of confidence, he could be a real threat for you.
He still seems to be in a good place.
He
like
is.
when you see him, he's smiling.
Oh,
I like what I'm seeing.
I was watching him on the sidelines yesterday.
I'm liking what I see, and I'm okay. I'm taking my time and letting the kid, when he hits, he's going to hit big.
This is going to be a reach, and it's not even me trying to compare him to this person. It's just me talking about what this person had to go through. You know somebody who's in the Hall of Fame, number 3 wide receiver all time in terms of touchdowns? It's Terrell Owens.
Yes.
Terrell Owens dropped every doggone thing his first 3 years in the league, including the playoff game, which he dropped everything, but then he made the catch. He called against the Green Bay Packers, and the rest is history in terms of his career. Sometimes it just takes a second for guys to get a situation going. It took Steve Mariucci a second to figure out Terrell Owens. Maybe it's going to take Ben Johnson or whoever's next up to figure Jameson Williams out. I just want to give him this full year to really be judgmental of him. Now, if we get to December, end of December, and we're having these talks, or even in end of December, then I understand that maybe they need to move off of him. But he's got 9 weeks left, and he's been through a lot already. I just want him to get through. I want Ben Johnson to kind of find his rhythm for me. I think it's still in there.
I agree, and I don't think the Lions acquiring Donovan Peoples-Jones is this affront to Jameson Williams. I really don't believe that in my heart of hearts. I know a lot of Lions fans will immediately jump to that. They'll just see J-Mo with a drop last night and the Lions trading for Donovan Peoples-Jones today, and they won't. That's all they'll think. But Marvin Jones is gone. Antoine Green is up, getting plays, the 7th round pick. And again, if in fact Amon-Ra St. Brown, what is that noise? Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, I did. It's like a snap.
I guess my mic's hot. My bad.
Sorry. Yeah, please. Trying to do a show here, trying to conduct business.
Come on, Parker.
You're in there playing around. I'm trying to conduct business here.
My bad.
Parker's got his fidget stuff going.
I'm trying to conduct business. But again, if Amon-Ra goes down, they need a guy. That's why yesterday I made wide receiver my number 1 need for the Detroit Lions. And then my number 2 need was cornerback. Why? Because if something happened, heaven forbid, to Cam Sutton, the Lions would be in a little bit of trouble. So there you have it.
Hey, look, I like the pickup of Donovan Peoples-Jones, not just because he went to the University of Michigan. It's because he's a guy that can make some plays. We've seen that. You need that. You put him in. I don't even want to have in my hand. And then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown out there. So I like it. He's a veteran as well. He's been in the league for a couple of years. Receiver was a good pick. And I'm a receiver, but I still would have went on the defensive end. It's just
well, it's not over yet. We'll see. Maybe they're fooling us.
Guys, gonna get a break. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Feldman.
Oh, that's right. Feldman Automotive, Michigan's number 1 Chevy dealer. Go to feldmanauto.com. Feldman Auto, you know what? They have the Feldman Advantage. 1996 is when they started. Take advantage of the Feldman Auto plan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, everybody, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company. They're the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. You could buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep, OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, let's go around the NFL. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway in the house. We've got Kool-Aid in the audio booth. We've got Parker banging cups and all kinds of things in the TD
Today's
booth.
Halloween, huh?
Halloween.
Keep forgetting.
Tuesday. Tom Mazaway.
All right, guys. I wish we could play the Monster Mash, but we'll get flagged for that. Always one of my favorite songs around the holidays here. By the way, yesterday I wrote. Yesterday was a big story. Came out about 6 o'clock last night that the Vikings and the Saints were talking about perhaps Jameis Winston going to the Minnesota Vikings. And I immediately thought of Ryan eating that W.
That's his boy.
For the Vikings. But it's not going to happen because it looks like they just went after and got Josh Dobbs. So I don't think Jameis Williams is going to be leaving New Orleans anytime soon.
Eat that W. Eat that W.
Eat that W.
They've been eating some W's in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. They're okay. Yeah. They're not great. Tied for first, though,
hey.
in that South with the Bucks. How about Hutch and Max last night? Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby. By the way, they couldn't speak more highly of Aiden Hutchinson last night on the Monday Night Football broadcast. I was really happy to hear that. But this is what they looked like after the game.
Needed to be better last night.
After the game, Max and Hutch got together and traded jerseys. Check that out.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, it's great. It's Max Crosby's a great player, and Aiden Hutchinson is getting there. And I do think he could be benefited by adding some defensive end help. Josh Paschal was quiet last night. He didn't give him really anything. Ali McNeil did. Ali McNeil is a
They
beast
spoke highly
playing.
of him, too.
He's a beast. But Aiden Hutchinson right now feels like the only guy that you need to account for on the defensive line for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I wanted another pass rusher. If they don't get one, it's fine. Like you said, we got guys coming back. Maybe James Houston, fits the bill when he gets back. So we'll see what it is. But yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. Like when you're starting to enter different conversations, Maz, when you're starting to enter the defensive player of the year conversation, when you're starting to enter one of the best pass rushers in the league that can also play every down and play the run as well. And when you play games against teams like the Raiders, I got to see you. And the Raiders did a lot of one-on-one blocking because they didn't have a lot of line two chip. They were missing some linemen as well. So when you're playing against teams like that, look, he doesn't got to go out there and get 4 sacks. He doesn't have to have 2 sacks and interception. But I just need to see your presence more on the field. Like that stat column, it's not all about the stat column.
Yeah.
The stat column does not always tell the story. So you see one tackle, that doesn't have to tell the story. But I didn't see him as active on defense last night for the Detroit Lions. I saw other guys, and I know they benefited because of that. But when you get into that category, it's like Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Like Nick Bosa ain't done nothing this year. Like when you're defensive player of the year,
and it shows.
It's exactly a little bit extra is added of you. So I'm not asking anything that doesn't come with being second overall and being a guy that broke Michigan's sack record. He's a guy that can make plays. I got to see just a little bit more. That's all.
Hey, and guys, in case you just joined us, the Lions did make a trade. They traded a 5th-round pick in 2025, a 6th-round pick, make that, to the Cleveland Browns for wide receiver, former Michigan Wolverine, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Here's Brad Holmes just moments ago at the podium.
We just traded with the Cleveland Browns for Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver. It literally just happened, so we're still kind of, but it's been sitting. But want to make sure you guys know we're excited about the kid. He's had good production in the past. He'll be a good fit here. He's been a high character kid. Obviously, he's from Michigan. He's from Detroit. he's a local kid, so I think he'll be very, very happy. I just talked to the kid. He's fired up about getting this process going. And, we all these moves that we make is always for the best thing for the franchise, best thing for the team. And that's every single move we make. So that's the best way I can sum it up of the reason why. And take any questions you got. 2025 6th-round pick.
You're damn right he's a local kid, baby. Cass Tech High School. And also my parents go to the same church. So shout out to Miss People Jones as well as my Enlightened Management in Southfield as well. So our parents go to church together. Good to have him here, man. I feel like if he had a better quarterback in Michigan, he could do more damage up there. But like you said, he's a guy that's kick return. He's on punt return. He's played inside and outside in terms of the Z and the X. So he's a guy that has some multiple facets to him like a Khalif Raymond, but a number 1 type receiver formerly, now probably a number 2. But I'm not saying that this is but I'm saying it could be a really big move. It could be.
Good depth move.
Especially for a 6th-round pick.
Yep.
6th-round pick is, I think, the key in this situation. 6th-round pick.
Hey, about 38 minutes to go. We will keep you posted if anything else hits. On Sunday, how about the Miami Dolphins stepping out in those beautiful uniforms that have never should have been changed. But here's Braylon's guy, Jalen Ramsey, playing his first game back of the year. Look how good this guy looks in the aqua, orange, and white with flipper on the helmet, with the Miami helmet on his beautiful head.
And
look at that uniform.
And oh, by the way, almost had a pick 6.
Did he?
Yeah, you got a pick on the sideline, ran up the sideline, got tackled about the 45 or so.
That helped the Dolphin defense.
Yeah, 100%.
That'll help them.
So now you look at that when they have to play Buffalo and you got Stephon Diggs. Hey, Stephon, 1 + 4 makes 5. Let's get cracking.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, it's Halloween, guys, and there are a lot of great costumes out there. I think this kid nailed the best costume of the year if you're looking for an NFL. This kid rocks the Mike McDaniels running up the sideline look. Check this kid out.
Oh, wow.
Look at him.
Oh, wow.
Look at him.
Oh, he's moving.
Remember that? And thank you to Sunday Night Football for that one.
Love that.
But that's a pretty good one. I love that Mike McDaniels
Mike's
guy.
the guy, man.
I love it.
Guy.
Here's a stat for you guys that is shocking. Ryan, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Okay.
It's the Patrick Mahomes versus Russell Wilson stat.
Yeah, maybe Russell Wilson isn't playing that bad of football.
Look at those numbers.
After all. So ML Football says Chiefs Patrick Mahomes has 15 passing touchdowns and 8 INTs. Russell Wilson, 16 touchdowns and 4 INTs. Narrative, right?
Looks like he's whispering in his ear, I own you.
Maybe.
Nah, he doesn't.
Hey, Denver, let's ride.
Hey, don't say it again. You on a win streak. Don't say that again.
Hey, and Patrick Mahomes, he's been throwing for touchdowns in 29 straight games. That ended on Sunday. We know he was sick, and they did lose to the Broncos for the first time in 15 meetings, that's a lot of meetings, and they wind up losing. But that was a hell of a stat that is gone now. No more.
Streak snap, but it ain't his fault.
That's right.
No
Hey,
more.
let me read this from that one little grip kid. Donated $5 in the chat. Says the Lions have the perfect bye week. We can get our new wide receiver and any other player we get acclimated to our playbook. How long does it take, Braylon Edwards? That's a question I want to ask you. In any new, Maz, we'll come back to you. I just want to stay on time here. But I want to ask you, Braylon, how long, you've been traded mid-season before.
Yeah.
How long does it truly take to get acclimated to the playbook, to get the chemistry down and all of that? I want to ask you that. We'll do it next. But first, a message from the Hamlin Pub.
You are a regular. We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss basis. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. You can drink it. You can live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meyer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. So go to the website, drinkcintron.com/Vegas for that $100,000 Vegas getaway.
NFL trade deadline is 30 minutes or so away in the NFL right now. There have been some pretty big deals, and a lot of people got better, including, we believe, the Detroit Lions. They acquired Donovan Peoples-Jones, the Detroit Cass Tech kid from the University of Michigan. Goes from the Browns to the Lions for a 2025 sixth-round pick. The Commanders, Washington was busy today. They sent Chase Young, defensive end, to the San Francisco 49ers for a third-round pick. Montez Sweat. Here's a curious one, too, just quickly on him. What in the world are the Chicago Bears doing? Why would you burn a second-round pick on a guy that you could sign in a couple of months from now?
Maybe to lock him up so he don't go anywhere else. I don't know what to do. And they gave that second-round pick up for Chase Claypool, if you remember last year.
It is so dumb what they did, because Michael Lombardi says today, a former executive in the league for the Patriots, he says, if you're Chicago, what are you doing? It's the dumbest trade in the history of football, because you don't want to win right now. So what if Montez Sweat comes up with like a 3-sack game or something like that in week 17, and you win 5 games now instead of 4, and instead of getting a top 3 pick, you go to 8, 9, or 10 because of this, and it totally takes you out of any
well, they got 2 number ones.
Leverage. But again, it takes you out of any spot of leverage that you could possibly have. So
sounds like Lovie Smith last year with Houston Texans. It hit the last game of the season.
Yeah, winning that game.
But
it didn't hurt him, though.
It didn't. This has been the Bears, though, man. This is what we're talking about. Justin Fields. Look, Justin Fields may not be it, Ryan and Ermanni, but I still stand by what I said about just the Chicago Bears organization. Like, they went to a Super Bowl, man, as I understand, in 2006, but always on the defensive side of things, coaches just never seem to get it. Eberflus, like, why are we going on the defensive side right now? I just can never figure them out. I just don't understand.
For Donovan Peoples-Jones, Braylon, you have gone through what he is going through right now. How long does it take to get a guy acclimated to a playbook, acclimated to a locker room, a chemistry with the quarterback? How long does that process take? And take me through what is happening at this moment right now with Donovan Peoples-Jones.
2009, I think I got traded right before the trade deadline, kind of like similar type deal. Go from Cleveland, New York Jets, walk in there. Ryan, at the end of the day, it's about what do you want to be? How much work do you want to put in? Like, when I got there, I was so happy to be out of Cleveland.
What did Cleveland tell you? Who told you?
Eric Mangini called me like 6 a.m., 6:15 a.m., And then I picked up. He said, "Hey, come by when you get a chance." So I went in and go in his office. And he said, "Hey, we've moved you to the New York Jets." It took everything in me, like, hold my excitement in. I was like, thank God I'm out of here. But it was the truth. I was so happy to get out of there. But to your point, Ryan, when I got there, I was so happy to get out of Cleveland that I instantly, went up to Mark. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Braylon Edwards. I just stayed in front of Mark the whole time. I was like, hey, you want to watch film? I'm going to watch film. What are you looking for in a Z receiver? Like, what are your favorite routes to throw? What are you comfortable throwing? Let me see the playbook. Let me watch film with you. You try and get a bite to eat? I'm hungry. You hungry? Like, I just was trying to be with him the whole time. Like, pause. In, like, terms of hitting, like,
Was
food.
he up for it?
He was a kid. Like Mike, he was a USC kid, so USC Michigan. There's always got kind of a natural relationship there. He was super cool, surfer guy, and we just hung out a lot. But I was willing to put in all the work. I was like, yo, let's watch film. Yo, you want to stay at the facility to 9? I can stay to 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I wanted to put that work in so he knew he could trust me. Like, he knew I was coming over, I had been in the Pro Bowl, blah, 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 but I wanted him to know that, hey, I'm on your team. Like, I'm working with you. I want to see what you got. So, Donovan Peoples-Jones, my advice to him is he's coming into a situation with a guy that's actually a leader, an actual veteran, an actual guy that's been to a Super Bowl in Jared Goff. If he comes in with that same energy, that same attitude, hey, what do you expect of me? What do you need from me? Boom, boom, boom. Jared Goff is a leader that's going to be appreciative of that. He's going to say, this guy's coming to work. This guy is understanding that we're a team. This guy's understanding that he's one of a whole and not one of one. So if he comes in with that energy, I think Jared Goff and him will hit it off well. He's going to put in some work because Ben Johnson and Jared Goff have been working on this offense for the last 2.5 years.
What about the language, the terminology? Like, how – I mean, and my only knowledge from that is by watching that quarterback documentary, and it felt like a foreign language. How quickly can something like that happen?
The good news is a lot of these languages, a lot of these systems, it's only four or five systems in the league. So a lot of the language is similar. If you get with the right system, I mean, you know how the tree falls. If you're off the Kyle Shanahan tree or Josh McVay or insert coach here, it's a little easier. So I think he's coming from Kevin Stefanski or Kyle Stefanski. So I got to see how that relates to Ben Johnson and what Ben Johnson did. But it's a lot of similar language. At the end of the day, you just got to figure out what the word. Sometimes people use F, sometimes people use X. Or A, excuse me. It depends, but it'll be all right.
When you went to the Jets from Cleveland in season, how many games did it take for you to feel like, I got this?
I'm so arrogant. We played on Monday night. Like my first game with the Jets was on Monday night. Maz remembers that game. We played the Jets in Miami. They ended up winning on the Wildcat at the end of the game. It was Ronnie Brown to Ricky Williams or something. I was pissed, but caught 2 touchdowns. Like, just it felt natural.
You were ready to go from the jump.
I was ready to get the hell out of Cleveland, but I think also too, like, spending that time with Mark, like that week. So I get traded Tuesday. I get traded Wednesday. So I get there Wednesday, and I get there just in time for team picture. Like, just literally, I'm flying in, they pick me up, they bring me to the facility. They were literally about to take the team photo, so I barely made it.
With uniform?
Yeah, like with the Jets
So
uniform.
they got everything set for you.
So everything set. I had my locker room, and this one I realized, I'm like, oh, shoot, the Jets are green and white.
Wow.
I freaking hate green and white. But it was spending that time with him Wednesday night, like Thursday morning before meetings, Thursday night. Friday we went to dinner. We went out to the city, he and the other quarterbacks and me and Jericho Cotchery. Spending that time with him, we had a moment in the huddle. I was like, hey, man, just relax, just throw the ball up. And he did, and so like we started rocking and rolling like week 1. But I spent 4 days with him. Yeah.
So number 17 was available, obviously.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
So what did they ask you?
They asked me what. I was like, give me my number. So they took it from another receiver. What was his name? Wallace something? They took it from.
So
I was gonna.
But is that something they ask you on your way there, so they have the uniform ready for you?
100%.
They ask, what number you want?
Yeah.
I want 17. Oh, that's taken.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But at the same time, too, it's like depending on who has it, you can have a conversation about paying,
of course,
for the jersey. So I actually just took it and they gave it to me, but then I felt bad and I gave them some compensation.
All right, guys.
But you gave them $100?
I gave him $2,000.
Oh, that is sweet.
It's a lot of money, man.
That was cheap compared to what Plaxico had to give up for the kicker.
So just sum up for me this trade deadline. Lions do improve the wide receiver position, but nothing at the defensive back, nothing on the defensive end. How do you feel about it, Braylon Edwards?
I think they looked at their team last night, and I think they looked at the team for the majority of their 8-game season so far. You see who got the game balls last night: Jerry Jacobs, Cam Sutton. You see Kirby Joseph, first interception. Tracy Walker, 2 out of the last 3 games has played well. He's got 2 sacks. He's got some pass breakups. He's been knocking guys out. So I think they like their secondary more than we do. Brian Branch is another guy we forgot about that's going to be coming back.
Did he get hurt a little last night?
Nah, no.
But he's
watching
not
him a little bit. He's just getting back into it.
Yeah, he's getting back into it. Because you got to think he was a rookie
Yeah.
starting to hit stride, then he got hurt. So you got him coming back. You see the defensive line last night. You see Aleem McNeil get some sacks. You see Anzalone off the edge.
6 sacks.
So I think they looked and said, hey, look, you know what? We got guys coming back like we're at. We're 6-2. You know, we don't need to overspend. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we do something in the interim period right now that we're going to look back in April like, damn, I wish I had my 3rd round pick. Like, damn, I wish we wouldn't have done that. So that's the move. They feel like they needed a wide receiver to shore up that position for Jared Goff and the run game too. I'm cool with it.
I'm very cool with the way this trade deadline worked. I'm totally fine. I think Brad Holmes is as smart a general manager and is as measured a general manager as you will find in the National Football League. And I'll tell you this much. He's done so well for this franchise. He has gotten this team over the last 3 years to the point where last night was just a beautiful scene in Detroit. Monday Night Football. The city looked great. The team looked great. Well, the team didn't look that great, but they're 6-2 at the break. They're going to make a run now. They're going to get some guys healthy. I am more than okay with this trade deadline.
Yeah, you're going to run sometimes, man. Like, you'll have games like this where, it was 26-12 or it was 26-12, but you knew they were going to win the game. They dominated for the most part. We've been a part of some games like that. But the best thing to pay attention to and the best thing to say, as you said already, Ryan, they're bye week, they're 6-2, and they look pretty damn good. And look at the rest of the schedule. It lines up perfect for them. You talk about the bye week, getting people back, getting Peoples-Jones acclimated to the system, figuring out, playing against the Chargers. And then you look at the rest. Chicago Bears don't look that good. The Vikings don't look that good, especially now with Kirk Cousins out. Josh Dobbs. Sure, you're talking about wide receiver picking up offense. How long does it take a quarterback to pick up offense? So, with that being said, if they get to the playoffs, they win the division, they win the first game at home, hey, next year again, right? So,
I just want to read for you a tweet from Jennifer Hammond. So that Dan Campbell reaffirming on how thorough the Lions were in the trade market, said it had to be the right person, the right pick at the right price, and that's just what it is. Parker, do you have something?
Yeah, we talk about the Bears, and then we talk about the Niners getting Montez Sweat and Chase Young. You know what I think when I hear that we just got DPJ? We didn't panic. We didn't panic because we're down and out. We have a lot of guys injured. We didn't panic. I think the Niners somewhat panicked a little bit after the 2 losses they had
3
against. Oh yeah, you're right. 3. Excuse me. You're right. Against Vikings, the Bengals, and then I can't think of the other loss. But I think the Bears also are panicking. They're trying to figure out what this team is. Justin Fields hasn't been going the way that they all expected this year. So I think Brad Holmes played the right move where he sat in his place, did what he knew would be the best move at that time, and didn't do too much.
All right, there you have it, guys. We're going to take a break. When we come back, one NFL team that has yet to make a move, and I'm shocked by it. We'll have that for you next. But first, a message from
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has a ton of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, it's Planet Fitness where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey, when it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. That means it's Premier Pet Supply, Michigan's best pet store. Family-owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery if you need it. Give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
All right, guys, NFL trade deadline coming up 18 minutes from now. The last trade in the NFL was the Lions acquiring Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Browns. There has not been another trade since then.
There'll be one at the buzzer.
I am shocked. Here's a little fill in the blank for you.
Okay.
I am shocked that blank has not made a trade yet today.
Don't say if he's right or not, because I got the team.
Okay.
You want to go first, Braylon? Go ahead.
I know it's one of these two teams.
I won't say if he's right. I'll
Okay.
let you. I'll let you do it first.
Jets, but I know who it is.
Jets is my pick.
Dallas.
The Broncos.
I was wrong there.
I'm shocked
Good point.
that Sean Payton has not made any trades with the Denver Broncos yet. They don't have any picks. They sold them all to Seattle to get Russell Wilson.
I guess nobody wants Jerry Jeudy or
And then the
Cam
Saints.
Sutton.
So, I mean, I am shocked that they haven't moved a player yet. They need, if they don't make a trade to acquire players, this is going to be the same song and dance for them next year.
Let me ask you this question. Isn't supply and demand, is that how it works in social studies back in the day? Like right now, people know that the Denver Broncos are a dumpster fire or a fire sale. So they're like, unless we only have to give you a third or a fourth for Patrick Surtain, unless we only have to do this, like I think that's might be what you see with the Broncos. Is like people like, do I want Jerry Jeudy right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Do I
look,
want
they're
Courtland
they're 3-5. They just beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Shoot, maybe he likes his team.
Rasul Douglas went to the Bills from the Packers.
Okay.
Rasul Douglas.
That basketball player?
And a 5th-round pick. And the Packers get a 3rd-round pick. So they trade Rasul Douglas and a 5, and they get a 3 from Buffalo.
They need to get rid of Jordan Love. That's who they need to be trading.
The Denver Broncos are 15th
Trade him
in
for a fax
15th
machine.
place out of 16 teams. And I know everybody's just kind of jumbled up right now, but the way it shakes out, only the New England Patriots have a worse record than them in the AFC.
Yeah.
That's a really tough spot to be in. Really tough to rebuild that way. So, yeah, I say the Denver Broncos. What are you surprised about the Jets? What did you think they would do?
I mean, they thought that Mikael Hartman was going to work for them. They thought that he could be kind of like that, that dual threat guy like a Barrios, who they got rid of this last year and got paid by. Where's Barrios at? He's with the Dolphins? He's with the Dolphins, kind of. Yeah, so he's with the Dolphins. So I thought maybe a wide receiver. Lazard hasn't done anything. Randall Cobb is my age. So I thought that they would help out Garrett Wilson. I thought they would get him a wide receiver. Their defense is stacked, don't really need anything. And I thought they would pick up a lineman. The Dallas Cowboys, I thought that they would be in somehow on Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley or one of these running backs to help out Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a good player. He's a much better player when you have a number one back or you have a back like Zeke.
No doubt.
So I thought that they were going to make a move because I feel like if they got a running back of that caliber, they could have been like the right now number one seed in the division, but they didn't make a move as of yet, so I'm surprised.
I'm surprised the Titans didn't move their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, and I'm surprised Derrick Henry is still there. They must be asking King's ransom for the King himself. Baltimore, I thought they were going to be busy. They're staying put. I think they could have used some help. Wide receiver, running back. Gus Edwards ran well last week for him. We got a couple of touchdowns for him, but I still think they're weak in their backfield.
He got 100 wide receivers on that team. At some point, you run out of money.
OBJ went out again.
Yeah, OBJ is making $15 million.
I'm just saying, he went out again. He got hurt again.
I feel you. You got Zay Flowers. You got Rashawn Bateman. You got Duvernay. Like you got Mark Andrews. They got a lot of wide receivers.
All right, guys, back to wrap it up. We'll do it next, but first a message from Mark White.
Mark White.
Real estate flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with zero penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey gang, join Woodward Sports in Long Drink for every Lions home game, the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed 5. It's always a bash. And again, Lions and Bears coming up in just a couple of weeks. You'll want to get your tickets for this one. You can pregame it with Woodward Sports to be treated like a VIP. Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. To get your tickets today, go to bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The Bears.
Guys, our good buddy Tim Kawakami is tweeting. He covers the 49ers.
Yeah, he's out in San Francisco.
Yeah, he covers the 49ers. For the Athletic now in San Francisco.
They're
Kawakami, I say, our good friend, because he was always tweeting when people were like, "No, Jim Harbaugh's coming to Michigan." It's like, "No, he's not." Everybody here is like, "Yeah, he is." They're like, "No, he's not." Well, that's why I say he's our good friend. But here's what he tweeted. The 49ers are closing in on another trade. I don't know who it's for, but it seems likely they've got one more. So the 49ers seem like they're going all in this year. And here's here's the point about that. You know what you can do when you pay a quarterback $895,000?
You can go all in.
You can go all in. You can go get Chase Young. You can go get Christian McCaffrey. You can go get and re-sign Deebo Samuel. You can go get this player, that player.
Javon Hargrave.
Hargrave from Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. It just, and again, it just kind of highlights for you why prior to this season, and maybe even it will always be a question of whether you want to pay Jared Goff or not, but why we have these discussions.
Yeah.
You know, whether you get to the result or not, this is an example today of why you have the discussion on if you should re-sign Jared Goff to a $45 million or $50 million deal.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers, what they have done in the offseason, what they are doing today is only because they have a quarterback that plays for them that makes $895,000. So again, whether you re-sign Jared Goff or not, Bray, it's why we at least have the discussion about it.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. You know, they have definitely been a team that's been close for a long time, and the pressing that you see now when you sign to Chase Young, you make another move, you bring in Javon Hargraves, you pay Nick Bosa, you pay Deebo Samuel and all that. It's because that window's closing. Like that window's closing. Like that model was great, Ryan, for 5 years or 4 years or 6, but eventually that model runs out. You may not be paying a quarterback, but you're gonna be paying some people some big money. So eventually that's gonna run out. That's why they're going all in right now. You're absolutely right. I mean, we didn't have Jared Goff. We had if Hendon Hooker was our starting quarterback this year, or somebody in year 2 or 3, definitely we could have made a big move. In this, or could have made a big splash in trade by the trade deadline, but. Hey, we don't. And like you said, now it's like, do you want to pay him $50 million next year? Yeah. Or do you want to do what the San Francisco 49ers do, which is load the defense up all the time, load up on offense that tackle, skill positions, and then plug and play?
Or just draft well. And they're doing that.
Well, the 49ers?
No, the Lions.
The Lions, yeah, definitely.
They're doing that.
Definitely.
They're drafting well. We don't know what they have in Hendon Hooker yet. I guess we'll find out one of these days. But right now, Teddy Bridgewater stayed. That was another name that was out there.
Yeah.
That he might get moved to a quarterback-hungry team.
Right.
So that's good. We're holding on that. Running backs are getting healthy. David Montgomery comes back, and you're right back to almost square one. Right now, the secondary's playing very well. Let's hope it continues.
Hey, Maz?
Yeah, buddy.
You were the sicko last night with your phone out watching a World Series at the Lions game?
I was. I got called out by a few Lion fans. They were like, what are you watching? You know, the Lions had the game pretty much in hand, and I put on the World Series on my phone, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. The Rangers, Max Scherzer, I said he was going to give you everything he got. Well, he did, threw about 40 pitches. Then he got back spasms. He comes out. John Gray comes in. Corey Seager, I called MVP. Second two-run homer. They win it 3-1. And we told you yesterday, teams that win Game 3 of the World Series go on to win about 70% of the time. That really doesn't mean anything. I just want to give you that stat. Game number 4 is tonight. It's going to be a bullpen game for the Rangers against, they're a little bit better off than who are they playing again? The Diamondbacks? Diamondbacks are a little bit better off here. They have a real starter going against a bullpen. But the Rangers, 7-0 on the road in this playoff run.
Incredible.
That was some BS, man. Remember we talked about it. I told you BetMGM has that formula. Whenever you're putting in a bet, and they
this
know
is a good story.
They know it's a good bet.
Yep.
They always have some type. I actually screenshot it now because it's laughable. It's technical error. We can't verify your location. Last night, sitting in the cars, we're about to go in and watch the game. We're sitting in the parking lot. Told Max, I'm like, hey, Corey Seager's going to hit a home run, but they're going to go under the number. And I think Max Scherzer is only going to have one strikeout. Try to put it in, no go. Try to put it in, no go. Try to put it in, no go. So then I went to their parlays that they have up already. Oh, it worked on that one. I go to the bathroom, and all I heard was, man, they played you. I come out, Corey Seager home run.
Oh, my God.
And they went under, and he only had one strikeout.
The last night was every sport imaginable playing at once. The Red Wings beat the Islanders in overtime. They break a 3-game losing streak. The Panthers are coming into town on Thursday. Pistons, unfortunately, back-to-back games. They lose at OKC last night. Three guys in double figures. Asar Thompson, huh? You looking good there, Kool-Aid? 15 and 10 for Asar?
He's looking really, really good as a rookie. A little bit better than I think people expected. I really do, man. 15-10, the blocks, and I know that NBA StatMuse just put out a graphic that shows how many different NBA stars he's out rebounding and how many different NBA stars he has more blocks than this season.
I told you about Chet Holmgren last year, though. Let's go.
Hey,
let's go.
Hey, they can bounce back. The Blazers in town tomorrow. And James Harden traded from Philadelphia to the L.A. Clippers.
That's right.
He's gone.
Well, lots more to get to. I got some trick-or-treating to go do. Gang, Bray, get us out of here, my friend.
Lions win. We'll see you tomorrow. Talk some more football. My man Kool-Aid, Maz, Parker, Ryan, and Ermanni. Enjoy trick-or-treating.
Yes.
Everybody out there, happy Halloween. Enjoy trick-or-treating. We are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. See you tomorrow.
See ya.